team, this is Ripper here. But you guys are doing fantastic today. Get a fun look at the Z-42. Z-42 of the Tier 10 line. It is available in the Armory for, I believe, steel still. And it is a awesome ship, and I really do enjoy these quick smoke destroyers. The Daring Z-42 Savea is, of course, a cruiser with quick smokes, but the quick smoke gimmick is super dang powerful, especially when you have these improved APs, just like the Druid as well. But as always, before we begin, like, subscribe, button below. Appreciate all the supporters of the channel. You see value what we're doing here today, let us know in the comments below. Smash those buttons, and we can't thank you guys enough. And at 4,000 subs, we're going to do another premium giveaway, and it's coming up pretty quick. We're almost to 4,000, and we can't thank you guys enough. So let's get right to it. Z-42. It is a premium, so it's awesome the fact that it's a premium, because then you could put Lucians on it, which I do all the time with all my premiums. I take the commanders and I put them on premiums, and allows me to play multiple commander style builds, and that way you don't have to sacrifice, doubloons, XP, lead XP, whatever. It's just there. Now, what is basically TLDR? What is the bread and butter of the Z-42? It brings the best of both worlds of the German line, where you have the 6-kilometer Hydra, which you're going to see against this Asajj here is going to be devastating, because then you can spot everything in 6 kilometers or within, and you can pop smoke at will, and you can then unleash hell on it, which is basically the bread and butter of the Z-42 is the German AP, which is really, really powerful, as well as you can have HE if you do need it. But look, there's a first shot of HE. Does a great amount of damage, but here's where the bread and butter shines right here. Look at the amount of HP you take off with the AP on this bad boy. I mean, the AP is literally monstrous. It's got nice angles, very, very comfortable. You see right there, taking 2080 of his HP right off of him. And look, I'm perma-spotting him, essentially. Now, I switched the HE just to ensure some kind of damage here, because I don't want to let this guy go. And I got to get one more shot here. Come on, baby. Just get one more shot. And you can see that's a tactic of Z-42. Really, it's just something simple right there, where I'm just, sitting in quick smoke, pop smoke, and use the 6-kilometer Hydra to spot. I've got RPF also built on this to give myself situational awareness, to have the guns facing in the proper direction when I do need to engage the threat. So again, I'm also talking about TTPs, the destroyer gameplay, but how I play Z-42 really is what you're seeing in front of you here, which is the being patient, spotting quick smokes if you need them. Go undetected, and then you just basically farm from that quick guerrilla warfare smoke kind of mentality. You got the 6-kilometer Hydro again, but also you got to be careful not to be falling in for that trap of, oh, I have to use my 6-kilometer Hydro, therefore I rush in and push into my death. So and that's the same way with the Z-52. You don't want to all of a sudden go, I have to use my 6-kilometer Hydro, therefore I rush in and then lose all my HP and I'm dead. And here we go. We spot the Asajj again in our 6-kilometer Hydro, because I knew where he was at. And do I get the kill? No, I don't. Very bad for me. That's the downside of the Z-42. That you see the reloads are not in this 2-second range, and they're literally in the 3.5 and above, which I don't really like. I don't like the fact that the reloads are in the 3-second range. I think this is probably be overpowered like a Haragumo. And I've always called the Z-42 as the Haragumo of the Japanese side. And essentially that's what it is. You got 5 sets of guns over here, 5 double barrels, so basically 10 guns a piece, essentially, and 10 guns shooting on something like this is incredibly powerful. But that's probably why they nerfed the reload to a 3.7 seconds, because if it was like Haragumo, we would be melting everybody, especially with the AP you're going to see here. AP's got great improved angles. Not as much as the Druid, but still they do so much damage, and this is why I enjoy it so much. And then, of course, when you have Lucians on it, you get a certain amount of shell hits, you're going to get a buff in the reload. So again, I think I can live with this 3.5 second kind of mentality here, but I don't like it. I wish it was a little bit better, but that's me as a destroyer main. I always wanted destroyers to be better. The torpedoes are there for the defensive purposes. They really are not an offensive torpedo, in my personal opinion. They go out to 10 kilometers, 62 knots, pretty slow. There's that buff right there. So we basically nailed, I think it was 150 hits, or I forgot off the top. You have to have a PhD in this thing in order to remember everything. All right, we got the torpedoes coming at us here. Hopefully we out-dodge them. I'm just checking to make sure they go by us. And yep, his pings are too late. And we're just rushing into the spawn here. Look at what the AP can do to battleships. I'm telling you, the AP on this thing is amazing. And that's why I think most of the time I'm always selecting AP on this bad boy. And look, battleships are going to fire at us when they can't survive this engagement. Anyway, he goes down, boom, splash, 1. 57,000 damage right off the bat right there. And you can see the problem also with this ship is if you want to be a gunboat DD main with this thing, you have to have heals. So as you can see, it doesn't have the heals that I've always requested for a DD gunboat main, because you're going to absorb a lot of damage, and you need that heal to correct your mistakes, because you're going to expose yourself to a lot. Hence, that's why you got to play it a little bit more conservative with the quick smoke generators that go basically undetected and become guerrilla warfare style gameplay. And boom, there it is. We take out the submarine with the guns. Splash 2. He goes down, and we switch to our next target, which is Colombo, and he goes down as well. So again, the quick smokes I really do enjoy. You get about 6 if you build for them, and 7, and it just basically allows you just to go undetected, start spamming from smoke, and then you have the 6-kilometer hydro to allow you to spot not only destroyers, submarines, but also to kind of scan and screen for torpedoes. And that's pretty much it. This pretty much is the Haragumo for the German side with the quick smoke generator, which is I do really enjoy. I think it serves a very dangerous purpose for destroyer mains, especially going into the cap like this, and you're literally just at will farming. And it's hard for battleships and cruisers, because as soon as they look at you, you can pop smoke, go undetected, and now you're spamming for free. And then the smokes are already coming back super dang quick. So how do I play the Z-42? I love it. It's quick, guerrilla, pop in, pop out, and then you contest caps and so forth. So very strong in that regard. I definitely recommend picking up if you do have steel, coupon it, whatever. And it is a powerful ship. The speed is great. You're getting in with the engine boost up to 38 to 40 plus knots. The hydro, again, we already talked about, long-lasting, quick cooldown. And really, the bread and butter of this thing is to be used with the AP, because it is a really powerful AP. I like the AP style, especially with the daring. The quick smoke ships like the Daring, the Druid, the Z-42, all great APs. So I find that AP is my go-to shell these days, just for the fact of the amount of damage you can output, and it's pretty damn incredible. You can see here a lot of ricochets on this carrier. I got to basically aim right at the butt there and nail him in the ass and see if we can get that right on the money, and we don't get the kill. But anyways, we had fun blasting him, all right? So that's one game right there, as you can see, pushing really aggressive with the Z-42. Let's take another look at a game of being a little bit more conservative and kind of playing, finding your strengths and weaknesses as well. So that game right there, you can see, pretty good. How did we rank in? Yeah, probably top 2, because we're doing our job, right? Doing a good job as a destroyer player. So let's take a look at another video. This is another video displaying the power of what the Z-42 can do in an area denial kind of role. And it works very well. The only thing I have to say about this Z-42, it doesn't maneuver as great, like I say, a Daring or the British line destroyers. Even though it has quick smoke, it feels a little sluggish, kind of like Haragumo styles. The speed is great, though. The problem is it is a little sluggish. You got to be careful about torpedoes. You got to be careful about being caught by radar in the open and so forth. So you got to be very cautious about it and very conservative, because again, you don't have the heals to withstand a brutal onslaught. So right off the bat right there, our hydro caught the Shimakaze out in the open. That's why it's a great cap contester. Now you're going to see the display of holding off literally about 3 battleships and a submarine, and it does it very well. Area denial. What is my thought process here? I'd rather take out the submarine than worry about the cap, because my submarine's in alpha. He is nowhere near the submarine to help me out. So what? I'm the closest asset in the area to take on the submarine, so I'm going to use my hydro, which obviously can only spot maximum spotting underwater submarines is 2 kilometers, and I'm taking a big chance here, pushing into a GK who also has 6-kilometer hydro. So my thought process here is I got RPF. I know where the GK's at. Once underwater, RPF doesn't work on submarines. So there, I'm perma-spotting him right now. I'm now keeping the submarine detected. So my friendlies, hopefully, again, guys, if you see a submarine, use your depth chargers. They're free, okay? Just might as well use them. I take that back. Depth chargers do cost money and credits at the end of the game, but it's free to use in the game in the sense of, hey, just depth charge the crap and nothing happens to you. He goes down. Great job, Schlieffen, for actually doing what you're supposed to do, which is drop depth charges when your destroyer spots the enemy sub. I did my part. I spotted. Now I'm out of here. So the concealment is mediocre, 6.2. Enough to get away from battleships, but not enough to outspot other things. But here's a cool thing with the hydro at 6 kilometers. As soon as you get detected, boom, pop the hydro, and you spot whatever's spotting you. All right, so what are we doing here now? We're going to do area denial. So what are we going to do? We're going to basically pop smoke. Again, you got to keep in mind the hydro on the GK is about 6 kilometers, so we're going to stay right outside of that. We're going to wait till I guess we were the only person spotting, which is sad. I can't believe that. Literally 5 of us over here, and nobody can spot a battleship. But fortunately, see, I know players in World of Warships are very impatient. They just want to fire. If they have big guns on their ship, they really want to show them off. They love firing, so I kind of sit in this mode and wait. And once they fire, it's perma-spotting, detecting them from their penalty from firing when nobody's spotting them in smoke. Since I'm the closest person to him, I'm basically going to use my heavy AP here to fire into the superstructure of the GK. You can see it does a lot of damage. Especially with 5 double-barrel guns, it is a very devastating thing, causing a battleship to literally run away and tuck and hide. So now we got 1 battleship running away, and that's what the power of area denial is. It causes a team to literally freak out and run away, and now they're rendered useless. Now we're going to fight against the Kremlin here, so I'm going to make this map a little smaller so you can see where we're hitting. But firing on the Kremlin is amazing. Even with this AP, look at what the amount of damage we're doing there. We prop Luchen's main battery reload now down to 3.3 seconds. And now we're taking about, 2,000 to 3,000 damage per few seconds here. And it is devastating. I'm telling you, the AP is a must. I always, literally when I see broadside battleships with the Z-42, always switch to AP. And you are doing a wall up, literally 2,200 every time. Like, look at that, 1,500, another 1,100. Yeah, you're getting great juicy salvos, a lot of chunks of health off of him. And then when he starts angling, that's only then when I think about switching to HE and then just plumbing, firing on a superstructure. I love just button-clicking every single gun, so it gives me this kind of the sensation of a fast reload right here, where I'm getting like literally 1 shot every second. And again, I'm keeping the AP. See, even though he's angled, I'm just like aiming at the superstructure. So if you can aim and hit the superstructure just by aiming, you literally can get the maximum hits that you can get with the AP, and angling doesn't really do much in this situation right here. We're going to take a gamble, so he's going to probably spot us now that our smoke goes away. And now I'm looking at his guns. His guns are not looking at me. I can take this chance. So I'm going to use the island to my left here to seek cover in case they do start focusing me down. Not after I get a lot of damage on this guy. 760, my gosh, every couple hits right there. It is very devastating. We're up to 85,000 hits right there. We're going to speed this thing up, and we're going to... Oh, he's healing now, so that's not a good thing. All right, so now we're going to take him on, again, full broadside, and we're going to do this pointy clicky again. And let's see here, 1,700 damage. He's still not looking at us, which is going to be okay. That means we're going to take this free damage for us right here. He's still not looking... Ooh, nice. We get the kill with the help of a shot from the right there by Stalingrad, I believe. Now we're going to focus and wither down Prussian. See how we're doing this area denial where we're really not pushing aggressively. I'm just really just mopping up the damage, helping out. This consistent damage that the Z-42 can provide really helps your team out a lot, because notice that nobody's firing at him but me right now because of the long reloads that cruisers and battleships have. So having this consistent damage output mechanic machine is really powerful, and just keeps the battleships just rendered useless. That's why, again, I feel like the battleship gameplay is not as impactful anymore, especially with these OP ships, cruisers, CVs. Very power crept, in my personal opinion. The overall battleship gameplay, again, has been, like I said, power crept, because there's really not much they can do with all this firepower and these gimmicks and everything that's going on with wargaming. And it's not the battleship players' fault. It's just the way the meta is nowadays with the introduction of all these gimmicks. He takes a shot at us. GK used to be, back in the day, the Brawler King. Now I believe it's just a punching bag now. We do take that massive hit, but it's okay. Boom, not after we take him down. Splash 2, up to 115,000 damage right there, ladies and gentlemen. That's the power of area denial with the Z-42. You can see we literally wiped out all the battleships, submarines, and destroyers over here. And now it's just basically farming on our heart's content. I don't think we get this Thunderer kill here. I think we're just a little too late. Yeah, the arcing of the shells is a little horrendous. Not as great as I would like it to be, like a Sherman or a Druid. They do arc a little bit, so you gotta practice aiming with it. Again, maneuverability not the greatest. Again, so what do I like about the Z-42? The biggest thing is the power of the smoke generator in combination with a 6-kilometer hydro. That is a very powerful combination to have, and allows you to do a lot of things, especially contest caps. The AP is also amazing on this thing. Look at this broadside Salem right here, and you're going to see what the AP can really do to the Super Hill Salem here, but unfortunately it's not enough to really combat the amount of onslaught that this thing can provide. So look at that right there. He is like typical Salem player, is going to sit there and stop and try to nose in and take the battle head on, but not after you have a broadside Z-42 firing right into your broadside there, and it is devastating as well, taking him down. And I do believe that our submarine U-451 had a Kraken. And let's take a look at this. I can't believe this. Yeah, he got a Kraken. A Kraken unleashed with the submarine. If a submarine's getting a Kraken, something's broken here. Something's wrong. But he was a good player. He got a kudos to him. Let's take a look at one more video after we check his stats. 132,000 damage. Just taking on battleships right there. Very, very powerful combo. Top third of the team right there. Doing everything we were supposed to do and almost soaking up 1 million potential damage at the same time while capping, spotting, defending, and doing everything a destroyer player should be doing. So let's take a look at one last video, see how the Z-42 handles another match. All right, final battle here, and there's actually a good battle scene here to talk about how to go against a Barbiano, and I think the Z-42 does a great job of going against the machine gun Barbiano that everybody dreads and hates and thinks is, broken, busted, whatever, but it is very, very strong and powerful, and this is a good example of how to counter it. So we're going to actually work with our Vampire 2 here, and again, I've always said that, hey, teamwork makes the dream work together, pair up with another destroyer, and you're going to see that you're going to win a lot more engagements that way just by supporting each other. 2 sets of guns are better than 1. We also have a lot of gimmicks here. I mean, Vampire has fast-firing guns with crawling smoke. We have 6-kilometer hydro with quick smoke. So very, very powerful and strong combination here. And look at that right off the bat right there. We're pummeling about 4,000 damage right into a Barbiano. Keeping in mind that you cannot duke it out with a Barbiano one-on-one, so you're going to have to keep this quick smoke. That's what the beautiful thing about the Z-42 is. Being able to go undetected immediately with the quick smoke and having a 6-kilometer hydro to counter as well. And then, of course, the guns are fast firing. And then you got to also analyze the map and go, is there a radar threat in the area? That's your biggest counter right now. And, of course, carriers is without explanation, but really you're more worried about the radar threat. And then here we go. We pop smoke right off the bat to eliminate the Yoshino right here. Unfortunately, Yoshino just overcommitted too much right there. And now watch what the AP can do right into his broadside right there. Right there. And then once you find that sweet spot, actually his armor is pretty dang thick. So I noticed that I can't really just shoot straight onto his hull and torpedo protection area. But again, if you find the nice sweet spot or the bow, you can get a lot of nice juicy damage. And there's the torpedo threat right there. Good thing the Vampire 2 had his hydro up. Now see how slow and sluggish this thing feels. It doesn't feel like it can accelerate on a dime. But that's why you always have to have the hydro up or someone else with hydro to just really help counter that torpedo threat. And again, more torpedoes coming right at us, but it's okay. Our quick smoke is coming back in 24 seconds on cooldown. So again, we can push a little bit forward, be a little bit more aggressive here. And just know that there's no radar threat in the area. We can be this aggressive. We cap Delta. Again, the power of Z-42 being able to contest caps is really unprecedented, and it's very, very strong in this regard. A long hydro, quick smokes, it's really difficult to counter. There it is, Shimakaze right there. Here's his problem. He fired at us when he shouldn't have, because now we are basically going to spot him with, the hydro. Pop the hydro once he goes undetected, and now we just go to town. With the amount of AP damage right here, it is very, very strong and very, very powerful right there. And he is basically perma-spotted. He's pretty much done for, and that's the power of contesting. You cannot contest with the Z-42. I've always said that with the Z-52, Vampire, Z-42. If you see one of those ships in there, man, do not play around because the hydro is a killer. You're going to have to bring in some radar to support you. All right, here we go. Here's the another aspect of the Z-42 against Barbiano. Now, here's the thing. I'll pause it right here. The Barbiano has an 8-kilometer detection, which means you outspot him no matter what. So the only other thing he can do is then pop smoke. But then when he pops smokes, you drive right at him, and now you have a 6-kilometer hydro, and he can't spot you because he's stuck inside of his cloud. And once he's in his cloud, and nobody's spotting for him, you literally can just drive right up to a Barbiano and just hydro him, and he can't do anything about it. And then he's perma-spotted the whole time. Now we have conjunction with the Des Moines here, forcing the Barbiano to drive towards us. We're going to literally drive right at him. See, RPF is indicating I know exactly where he's at. I drive in, 6-kilometer hydro, perma-spotted, and now I can just farm him for free. As soon as I get detected, boom, I slam on the brakes and hit my smoke, and now he's already caught within it anyway. So basically, I've countered both escape avenues of the Barbiano, and it's just so devastating, and that's how you really counter the Barbiano. It's really not that glamorous. So right off the bat, look, he's stuck in a smoke. We can see him. He can't see us. And no matter, even if I fire, he's still stuck in a smoke. Nobody's spotting for him. And now we just go to town and blast him right there. That's a counter. See, he had the blind fire because he has no idea where we're at. So there's that counter for the Barbiano. He's down. And now we're just going to go to town on the Henry here. Again, we have the quick smokes. I'm going to pop the smoke in a minute here just to go undetected so nobody fires at us. We don't want to take unnecessary damage because why? We don't have heals. So you got to preserve as much healing power you can or health points for the long haul of the battle because you're going to be needed. So he goes behind an island. We'll go skip that. Not after having done a lot of damage. Okay, here we go. Now, here's a main here. He has 107, 102,000 hit points, right? Now, look at what this thing can do to a broadside main. See, I'm just shooting superstructure. There's the main battery reload booster down to 3.1 seconds now. And there's nothing cosmic. I'm literally just going to aim at superstructure area here and just get that nice damage right there. I pretty much have a druid on the on my two to three druids on the side of my hull here, and I'm pretty much doing what the druid could do by itself, but just a little bit more guns, a little bit more firepower, just doing 760, 780 kind of damage to the superstructure. And you can see that 100,000 damage. This is slowly going down and withering away. And it's difficult to heal back this AP damage. Raw damage right there. And it's so freaking powerful. And I love it. Love this AP damage. It's just something very soothing about it. You don't have to worry about fires. You just know, like, hey, I'm hitting them. And it's really difficult to heal back. And it's just pure raw damage right here. So let's see if we can get that kill. Come on, baby. And boom. There he is. We take down a main. 100,000 damage. And that's exactly how the cookie crumbles on that one. And here's another main. So let's go. It's just another day of shooting mains here. We're going to shrink the map a little bit, non-standard here, so you can see where the hits are landing. 760, look at that. 760 every second is a devastating thing to have. It's passive income over time. And I know it's death by 1,000 paper cuts, but again, it's still a death by 1,000 paper cuts, so people forget that. It's nothing glamorous. It's just a long, consistent, persistent, just shell damage, just right into his superstructure. Will just melt any battleship, no matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you have 100,000 or 80,000, whatever. It just eventually will wither away if you're consistent enough and persistent and with good aiming, practice. I mean, just being able to work the throttle here, leading the ship, just kind of knowing where he's angling at, where this is going to land. Also keeping an idea of where your surroundings are. I don't have incoming fire alert on this, so I believe I have to literally just watch the mini-map to see who is firing me. Am I taking damage? Always keeping your head on a swivel, looking at the mini-map while I'm firing. And I think he eventually is going to die here. Do I get this kill? And oh, no, I don't. Samasco takes him out right there. All right, so again, nobody's threatening us. Our RPF has now switched to the area where the Columbo's at. And pretty much we're just going to drive over here. And we do not want to take on a Columbo. Ooh, no, here we go. Minotaur takes us right in front of us right here, and the AP is pretty strong against a broadside Minotaur. Unfortunately, he's got us in the 50-second radar duration here. There's no way we can survive this. We just got the nose in. I'm pretty much caught in the open here. I did not realize there's a radar Mino here, but it's okay. We'll win the game, not without going down without a fight, right? So we've done our part, 172,000 damage. We've capped and held Bravo here and Delta. The rest of our team should be able to mop this up, and I'm just going to try to survive this as long as I can. I'm stuck in the radar, and they all know it, that they have to destroy the Z-42. Otherwise, the game could be lost here. I mean, it's devastating being shot by a head-on Minotaur, and can we survive it? Just a few more shots. You're still caught in the radar. This is a long-lasting radar. I'm telling you, 50 seconds. 52, 53 seconds, and we are... Oh, man, if I hadn't fired that last shot, he wouldn't have seen it, and we go down. It's okay. It's a good fight, but that's the power of Z-42, being able to cap and take down this whole area, and we still win the game just because of the fact that we took down everything. And yeah, Mino is going to get blapped right here. Thank you for avenging me. He goes down. All right. Final kill right here, Columbo. And yeah, you pretty much see it. Z-42, definitely strong steel ship available in the army right now. I definitely recommend it. Very, very powerful for what it is. Quick smokes, hydro, strong AP, very good captain. That's very everything you need in a good destroyer. And so, as always, will be at the end of the video. Let me know what you think. And as always, if you want to support the channel, smash those buttons down below and leave a comment. And again, thanks for stopping by. And if you see me out there, make sure you say hello. And as always, we hope you're doing well. #1 on the team right there. Take care. Cheers.